The other thing at the beginning of this race, we talked with Carl Edwards. Ray asked him, why are you running these races when you can't run for a championship? But they can run for the Owners' Championship. Now, coming into this race, he was just behind the 20, only 8 points behind the 20 in the Owners' points battle. And now, take a look at what's happening. Denny Hamlin potentially winning this race. Carl Edwards struggling.
Rick, this is a game changer. Just like the championship, when Denny Hamlin ran out of fuel or had to pit for fuel at Phoenix last year, that was a game changer. This is a game changer for Carl Edwards.
Reed Sorensen on pit road and off. Denny Hamlin, we would expect to see him on pit road very soon.
We talked about losing 4 or 5 laps. That's exactly what happened to Carl Edwards. He's 5 laps behind in the 24th spot. So you're right, Daryl. Big loss for this team.
Big swing.
Hermie, what are you hearing on the 20 team?
Well, Rick, I'm like you. I'm expecting Denny Hamlin with this kind of lead to be on pit road by now as well, if not very quickly. But they are telling him to save fuel, that they are right on the number. Keep saving fuel, and they keep telling him how big a lead he's got. It looks like Denny Hamlin may try to make it the rest of the way on fuel. We'll see if he's able to do that, Rick.
Boy, I tell you, that is a gamble, but there are, maybe that means there are other people that can make it as well. So he's painted himself in a box. But remember how he won the race last night? The guy that he was racing ran out of fuel.
Exactly. Had to go by Kyle Busch, who ran out of fuel in that late model charity race.
Be ironic if that happened tonight.
Elliott Sadler making his way onto pit road. Krista.
They knew they were getting close to their fuel window. Elliott saying, my car has definitely lost something. Not as good as I was earlier on the run, getting tight in the center. I need help in the center.
Pass-through penalty for the 60 team. Carl Edwards pitting outside the box.
All right, that's just pure frustration. I mean, he didn't really care. He was mad and he just took off.
Maintain your speed.
There's a lot going on right now.
Well, there is, and the thing that I'm hearing now, if Denny Hamlin thinks he can go the way, then you've got a situation where they're hearing that maybe Stenhouse Jr. or Almirola or Kenny Wallace or Algar, they're talking about it on the radio. We were listening in just moments ago. This is what Denny Hamlin had to say.
We got to save fuel. Yeah, we're going to be right on the number. Save me some fuel.
So are they saying that because maybe someone else is listening, or are they going to actually try to save fuel and make it over 125 laps?
You got to tell the driver. You can't wait till 10 to go and say, oh, by the way, this is not the time for, oh, by the way. Got to save some fuel. He's in a box. If he stops and the other guys doesn't, he's going to lose. If he goes on and runs out of fuel, he's going to lose. So he's in a box.
Ray, have they talked anything about fuel conservation with the 6?
Yeah, they've been asking him whether or not he's saving fuel. Mike Kelly asked him, and Ricky Stenhouse said, I cannot promise you that I've done a good enough job with that. And Kelly said, as of right now, it looks like we're 5 laps short. So to me, way too big of a gamble to try, even on a 3/4 mile racetrack.
Yeah, and a guy like Ricky Stenhouse, he doesn't have the experience to know how to save fuel. A guy like Denny Hamlin, he does. He's been here. He's done this. So Denny can make it. If Ricky's close, I don't think he'll make it.
Krista.
Well, this is interesting because if Denny Hamlin is close, his teammate, the 11 of Brian Scott, they are also close. You see him wiggling a little bit, but Kevin Kidd, the crew chief for Brian, had been talking the last 20 or so laps, reminding his driver, save me fuel, save me fuel. But way back on lap 200, Brian said, Kevin, do you have anything up your sleeve? And Kevin said, yes, I do, but I never would have thought it would be this. They last pitted on lap 126.
You know what? We talked about in the opening, this was the night for these. If Denny Hamlin has a problem, look who's lined up behind him.
All of them.
Stenhouse Jr., Almirola, Kenny Wallace. By the way, those are the only other cars on the lead lap. There's 4 cars on the lead lap now.
And you got Algar, you got, you got a bunch of guys. You got Wise back here, Scott.
Like, don't you just love NASCAR racing? It's never over till it's over. Like you said earlier, we're talking about a 3/4 mile short track, and we're saving fuel. We're trying to figure out with a 10-second lead that Denny Hamlin has, he's trying to figure out how to win the darn race.
1 caution. We've had 1 caution tonight.
And see, normally you'd say, oh, don't worry about it, there'll be a caution. But there hadn't been any tonight. You can't depend on that tonight.
Side-by-side racing. Paul Menard on the inside of Eric Almirola in that 88. A bunch working right here. Brian Scott on the outside of Joe Nemechek.
And this is typical. This 2-wide, 3-wide racing, battling all over the place. Some guys trying to get all they can get because they pitted. Other guys trying to save all the gas they can because they don't want to pit.
Herbie, big gamble it seems like for Denny Hamlin here.
You're right, Rick, and the radio is getting very, very interesting for Denny Hamlin. Crew Chief Adam Stevens is telling him, do not run faster than 24 flat. He's been running in the 23 40s and 50 range. They've asked him to back it down and do not break the 24-second barrier on the racetrack. Ray?
Kenny Wallace on the way in here. He needs a little bit of a splash of gas. They're not going to do any tires on this one, but Kenny came on and said, this car is so fast, I have been manhandling this thing. Remind ourselves to put an 8-to-1 steering box in this thing. I'm plumb beat.
Well, he hasn't had any brakes. One time they've really had just able to slow down and think about it. And that was way back on lap 125.
Now, when he says slow down to 24 seconds, that means you got to get out of the gas. That means you're coasting into the corner. That means you're not matting the thing when you get back into gas. You're squeezing back into gas. Slow down. He's got a lot of room here to slow down.
Kenny Wallace running in the 6th spot. He's a lap down. Right now, Allgaier.
Get back in your rhythm here. 15 hard laps. I need 15 hard laps.
12 laps to go. 3 cars on the lead lap. Allgaier, Menard, Kenny Wallace, Elliott Sadler, and Brad Keselowski. Those 5 cars are 1 lap down. Josh Wise 2 laps down, and Josh Wise is running 9th.
This is fun.
Unbelievable.
This is fun. It ain't over. No telling what the last 12 laps hold.
I still think this is a huge gamble for Denny Hamlin. Has a strong race car and is challenging these guys by going to fuel conservation.
But he has to, Rick. That's the only way he's going to win the race. That's what the other guys are going to do.
He's in a box. He's got people that might be able to make it, so he's got to try to make it, or he's not going to win either way. So he's in a win-win or a lose-lose. We just don't know yet.
And he only has a 4-second lead. That's the key to it. He's been dominant all night long, but when he started saving gas, all he has is a 4-second cushion. He can't come near pit road. If Stenhouse doesn't pit, then Denny can't pit, or he doesn't win the race.
One of 2 things could happen here. Stenhouse could close to make Denny have to go harder, or Stenhouse could close and he could run out of gas. In reality, they both could run out of gas trying to race for the win.
Exactly. And Almirola back there could be the benefactor, or Paul Menard. How about Kenny Wallace? He's a lap down, but most recent on pit road, so we know he's going to have enough fuel.
As does Elliott Sadler. Elliott's been to pit road, so he's all set for gasoline.
Paul Menard was on pit road at lap 215, so we're fairly confident he's going to be able to make it. And he's on the lead lap. Now we've got problems with the 6. He looks to be out of gas, so he's slow on the racetrack. Ray.
They just told him, please back off and slow down a little bit, ease it in. Ricky said, doesn't matter, we're out, and they just missed the entrance to pit road. He is going to roll here into turn number 1. Not a chance he'll make it all the way back around.
No,
and that could bring out the caution.
That will be your caution.
He's on the apron of the racetrack trying to make his way through turns 1 and 2 right now, out of the racing groove, and still NASCAR has not. There it is. The yellow flag comes out. Caution comes out with 7 laps of racing to go.
I thought it would be pretty naive to think we wouldn't have a late caution.
Well, did you think that that the guy running second would run out of gas late?
I was afraid that he and the 11 both, or the 20 would both run out of gas trying to race each other for the win.
The second caution of the race has come out on lap 244.
But Rick, I mean, I don't know how many. I've been coming here a long time. I've never seen so much green flag racing. I don't think fuel mileage strategy has been a big factor in a lot of these races.
You never talk about fuel mileage when you say, hey, we're going to Richmond, the action track.
Yeah.
Let's talk about fuel mileage. It doesn't ever happen. And now here's what we've got. Denny Hamlin on the lead lap. Almirola and Menard also on the lead lap.
Denny Hamlin pits now. He's going to pit and get him some tires and some gas. Not going to worry about it. What do you think, Darrell?
I don't think he can. I just don't. I think right now he's kind of made up his bed.
Wait on gas, but bring that second can so we can get this thing full. We don't want to add the nose weight.
They're putting some rear weight to it. I don't know which team that is, but I'm coming to get tires if I'm Denny Hamlin. He's going to be able to win the race. He's got the fastest car. If those other guys stays out, he passes them in the first turn.
If at all possible and I can make it, I stay out. I don't want to take a chance pit road penalty, something happened on my start. You know, I don't know. I just wouldn't. I'd stay out.
If Denny stays out in the 88 and the 33 pit, he doesn't win the race. These tires are old. They got to get some tires.
Ray, what did they say? What are they saying?
Eric Almirola's out of fuel. He said, tell the 7 to please give me a push. And he can push him back around right now as long as it's not on the last lap of the racetrack. But he is out of fuel. But he is losing those positions. If you do not keep your speed under yellow, all those positions are going by for the 88.
Well, those aren't positions. Those cars are all lapped, and he isn't. So if he can get that push from his teammate like you spoke of, Ray, get to pit road.
And on pit road comes the 20. So Denny Hamlin brings the lead car onto pit road.
When Almirola ran out of gas, that sort of made this a little bit easier of a call.
Paul Menard will be second. Kenny Wallace back on pit road. Hermie.
Yeah, Denny Hamlin bring this car down 4 tires. Adam Stevens said, do not wait on the fuel, Denny. We don't need it all. You go on the jack on the left side. 4 tires for Denny Hamlin.
Paul Menard came on the radio and he said, we're going to have to do 2 tires to try to get some track position here. Then as that changed, Kevin Harvick said, absolutely not. Let's do 4. If we're going to compete with that 20, we're going to need 4. You see the 20 rolls by there. Not a big hurry for these guys. Apparently only a couple cars on the lead lap, but they're going to put 4 tires on that Rheem Chevrolet.
This will be the all-time world record for wave rounds. You'll never see the like of wave rounds.
Eric Almirola slowly letting that car down as they're ether in there to get it fired back up.
That's gasoline they're pouring into the carburetor, and he needs to get her going if he's going to stay on the lead lap. The thing won't start, though. We watched Carl Edwards lose 4 laps. Look, just in the nick of time, he beats the pace car off pit road. I think. Did he?
Well, now the question is, did he speed, I guess?
Well, speeding's okay, but if he ran the red light, that's bad. But you can't speed to preserve a lap either.
If you speed to save a lap, you get a penalty.
Hermie Allgaier got the lucky dog. He's on pit road.
Yeah, Jimmy Ellis told him to stay on the flat part of the racetrack, not to starve the engine of fuel. And so they got the lucky dog, came around 4 tires. And one comment he made that DW can add on, they're pumping the tires up almost like a qualifying run for this last little sprint to the finish.
Oh yeah, that you don't want any. You want the tires just like they would be if you'd made a long run here, because you got to go, man.
You remember earlier in the race on a restart, Denny Hamlin had the lead. Eric Almirola took it away from him. He had a fast car on the short run. We're going to have a really short run to the checker. Can Almirola get Denny Hamlin?
We'll know in just a moment.
It's happening quickly. Next stop for the Nationwide Series is Darlington. Friday, May 6th, a night race at the Lady in Black at 7:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN2. Then the next stop for the Camping World Truck Series, which lives right here on Speed. That is going to be Dover. Friday, May 13th, 8 p.m. from the Monster Mile.
Look at all those wave around cars. I love it.
19 of them, Daryl.
I know, Wade.